tumultuous week? I'm trying to use a neutral term, a tumultuous week.
Well, I hope you will ask Mayor Stoney a question for me when he comes on later.
Okay.
You know, today is a big day in Virginia. Every city and county in the Commonwealth of Virginia today begins phase 2, except for Northern Virginia and Richmond. And my question is this, you know, why is it we are not allowing Richmond to move forward with the rest of Virginia? You know, you're taking minority business owners in Richmond and you're putting them, you're making them, you're once again attacking these small business owners who are mostly minority owned. You know, they cannot make ends meet for their family. They can't even, it's illegal for them to operate in Virginia right now. If you say you're for minorities and minority communities, then number one, why are you not protecting them? Why are you allowing these looters and rioters to destroy these businesses, these legacy African-owned businesses where they have spent their life and their families' entire financial history? I mean, they've sacrificed everything with their sweat equity trying to build these businesses. And law enforcement basically stood back and allowed Antifa and, Richmond chief police officer was talking about Antifa being there. John, I know about Antifa because they follow me around at the Capitol. There are a lot of people who think Antifa is a fantasy group that people have made up. Even the Richmond police identify Antifa as what they are. They are not for Virginians. Many of them are out of state. They are militant. They want to take bricks and throw them into Virginia businesses. They want to loot and they want to take and steal from Richmond business owners. Why is it Mayor Stoney protecting them? Why aren't they enforcing the law? The very ordinance, the very curfew that he put into place at 8 o'clock, he didn't even enforce. So why have it?
Yeah, that's very legitimate. I talked to Secretary Moran at 7 o'clock this morning. I don't know if you heard his answer. He was pushing back on me for saying that this was allowed. He said, well, we didn't allow it. I think his assertion is that they tried to prevent this, but I would question that, to be honest with you, because I saw what they did to try to prevent any bad behavior during the Second Amendment rally at the Capitol, and the entire attitude of the administration and the police force was very different at that rally than what I have witnessed the last week. And you're pretty impotent if 5 days later you've still got riots in the streets and you haven't been able to stop them, I think.
I think it's very concerning. It's very, we didn't have issues like that in Chesterfield. And, I get criticized all the time. I get criticized all the time about the videos that I put up on my Senator Amanda Chase page. But you know what? I'm going to continue to do them. I'm going to inform the citizens of Virginia and in my district about what's going on. And we had reports, credible or not, we had reports that we could not substantiate that Antifa was going to come to our neighborhoods and destroy property and all kinds of devastating news and information. It was unconfirmed, and we were working with behind the scenes with law enforcement. We were armed. We made sure that the 2A community was aware. There was no accidents or occurrences of any mishap. We had law-abiding citizens protecting law-abiding citizens and backing up our police, and I support that and all day long. Yeah. People can criticize me all they want, but Antifa got the message loud and clear.
That's why they didn't come. Let me ask you this before I run out of time. What would you do differently if you had been in the governor's office on the third floor of the Capitol over the last 7 days? It's 1 week. 1 week ago today is when the violence started, when the protests started, but also the violence started. What do you think you would have done differently?
Well, I've been very vocal that I would have, if our local police units were allowed to do their jobs. Listen, we have the best law enforcement in Virginia. Let them do their job. And collectively, we had Chesterfield, we had all the localities that were helping Richmond to combat some of the violence that was going on. And listen, I want to be very clear here. I'm all for protesting. As an American, I cannot be more saddened by the death of George Floyd and stand in solidarity with fellow citizens outraged for whom demand change. But what happened that day, in my opinion, the mayor, the governor, they were complicit. They should have brought in the National Guard. They should have declared a national day of emergency, or a state of emergency, rather. They did it 2 days before the annual VCDL 2A rally occurred and caged off the Capitol so that no one can be there. And what did they do when they knew this was coming? They were complicit. They did nothing, absolutely nothing, other than stand back and let whatever happened happen. I mean, we never even heard from Governor Northam, not 2 words until the press conference on Tuesday. You see these mask ordinances where they're mandating people to wear masks, and they're not even wearing them in the streets. I saw pictures with Mayor Stoney, no mask on. They were in closeness. It was on. I was doing a press conference with an interview with another at Channel 8, I believe, and lots of Tim Kaine and others were gathering, not observing social distancing. Some of them, had on masks, but there were many times I saw Mayor Stoney with no mask on, and the masses. If we have a spike in Richmond of cases of coronavirus, people should blame him, because it's do as I tell you to do and as I mandate you. And if you don't wear your mask, it's going to be a Class 1 misdemeanor. But you know what? You don't. It just sends a message of do what I tell you to do, not what I do myself. It's hypocrisy, and it's just wrong. I mean, I think that Antifa got the sign that Richmond was going to be a sanctuary city for rioters and looters. And listen, I am so glad I put the message out in Chesterfield and said, you're not welcome here, because if I hadn't, they would have been here. You can guarantee they would have been here.
Do you think the governor has the unilateral authority to remove the Lee statue?
Well, let me tell you about the Lee statue. First of all, it's owned by the Commonwealth of Virginia, right. Unlike a lot of the other statues. So it's under the jurisdiction of the General Assembly. With the new Socialist Democrat majority taking office and having control of the legislature for the first time in 27 years,
right.
He got what he wanted in the General Assembly, and that law goes into effect July 1. So that law basically says this, that it is up to the localities to determine whether those statues, statues that are owned by the state, can stay up or go down. And there's some other
statues.
Their statutes, correct.
Yeah.
So
but
it
the Lee
is legal.
statute, because it's a Virginia statute, I think the General Assembly could probably pass legislation to say, we want this removed, and it shall be removed. The governor could sign it, and then it could be executed upon. Then you have the legislative branch and the executive branch both affirming it. I would disagree with that, but that would be the way I would propose you would do it if you were going to do it. Does he, as the chief executive for another 18 months, get to say, I wave my hand, sign a document, and it is removed? I think that's an important. Do you think he should be allowed to do that? Is that legal for him to do that?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Governor Northam needs to step down. I mean, how can real change come from a governor who openly engaged in systematic racist actions, affectionately named Koomy and by his peers? His racist past makes him paralyzed to lead the Commonwealth. I'm actually calling on his immediate resignation for the good of the Commonwealth.
Well, they won't replace Robert E. Lee with a statue of Ralph Northam. I'm pretty confident of that. Listen, I'm out of time. Senator Amanda Chase, the Republican who represents Chesterfield County and Republican candidate for governor seeking the GOP nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
846, back with more in a moment. News Radio WRVA.
I need.
You need to know what's going on.
It's the information you want. It's the information you need on News Radio WRVA.
Even in this crisis, the medical crisis, the virus crisis, and all the drama and it's not drama, it's violence all over the country. The bad guys are still on the move. They're trying to destroy businesses by hacking into their computer systems. Don't let them get into yours. Call Intech Systems, Richmond's trusted IT specialists. They're working with companies big and small all up and down the East Coast to try to come up with the best strategies to fight the hackers. Here's how you reach Intech Systems. 523-9000. 523-9000. You can find out about them online as well, how they can help you grow your computer infrastructure, not make the mistakes other people have made, and protect all of your data, your money, your employees, your livelihood. Intech Systems, ENTECVA.com.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, we do too. So as America starts opening back up for business, and as more of us start getting back out there again, we'll be in big cities, small towns, and everywhere in between, doing what we've always done to help keep our local communities moving forward. So whether you stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, Auto Care Center, or visit us at Napa Online, you can count on Napa know-how.
During these times, it's important to stay home and practice social distancing. One thing you don't have to distance yourself from is your grill. No need to go out and exchange your propane tank. Go to propanetaxi.com to get your next tank of propane for your grill delivered straight to your home. No delivery fees. Go to propanetaxi.com. Get your first tank exchange for just $10 by entering promo code SUNSHINE. Yes, just $10 by ordering online at propanetaxi.com. Promo code SUNSHINE. Save time and money by ordering your propane tank from Propane Taxi.